Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm not even sure what time it is anymore. My name is Meredith. I am from Canva, and I'm excited to talk to you about some of Canva's AI tools, as well as some of our development tools that you can utilize to bring AI to the Canva platform as well. So just to kind of pulse check to figure out what we want to focus in on, how many in the room are familiar with Canva and maybe currently using it? Oh, don't hurt yourself. Uh-oh. Hold on. Temporary. Yeah. But okay. Sorry. Keep hands back up. Hands back up. Okay. That's like pretty much the entire room. Awesome. How many of you guys are currently using any of our AI tools? That is significantly less. So that was only a handful of hands. Okay, cool. So I'm here to show you some of our really cool AI tools when the screen behind me comes back on. And hopefully it'll inspire you to check them out yourself. Or if you have a technical background and you want to try some development as well and try to bring your own AI into Canva, I'll give you a little teaser on how to do that, but I won't spend too much time talking about it here tonight. All right, so I'll just quickly go through what I want to show you guys here tonight. I want to take you through Canva's Magic Studio features and some of the really cool things that you guys, as most of you in the room are currently Canva users, can also start working with today. We also have a marketplace on Canva that maybe you're not aware of, and there's tons of AI tools there, or you can bring your own. Some other really cool AI integrations we have are with ChatGPT and Slack. So if you're not familiar with those tools, I'll give you a brief demo of those as well. And then I want to take you through a little workflow automation demo that I put together and introduce our Connect API. So again, if you are of a more technical mindset and interested in trying some things out, we do have a set of REST APIs, which I'll tell you about a little bit here at the end. As I mentioned, my name is Meredith Hassett. I'm a senior developer advocate at Canva, focusing on our Canva developers platform, but that has also expanded to focusing a lot on what we do in the AI space as well. So Canva's Magic Studio, if you have watched any of the Canva Create, #thatwrap, if anyone saw it, we have a bunch of AI tools that are available on the platform. We launched our first set about a year and a half ago, and we've continued to expand the offering to add even more magic capabilities. So magic is our word for our AI tool set. We have AI to help in every sense of the word on the platform, from every different content type and design type, from writing support with our Magic Write that helps you write your content. I use this sometimes when I have a blog post idea, but I don't want to spend all that time going from that idea to long form content just to get me started. It'll spit out some content and then it's like, okay, that's not quite right, but I'm able to actually not start from a blank starting point, which is really great. And then I can manipulate it to add my own tone of voice to it. We also have AI tools to help with design creation. So again, if you're starting from that blank page syndrome, you've got a campaign coming up and you don't know how to create assets for it, or you're just not quite sure, you can use our design creation tool, our Magic design tool, to create presentations and videos as well. And then we also have tons of Magic tools in the photo editing space that allow you to manipulate images instead of having to go out and try to find that new stock imagery. You can make really quick edits to existing imagery and utilize it as you need in your resources. And so I'm going to jump over and take you through a bunch of these tools. So let me go ahead and make this nice and big. So if you are new to Canva, we have our Magic Studio over here. And this will take you through a bunch of the features that we have, such as Magic Design, Magic Write, Magic Size and Reswitch, Animate, Morph, and more. So I like starting with Magic Design. I think it's really cool how useful it actually is. So if we go ahead and try Magic Design, what we can do to actually work with Magic Design is when you're inside of the Canva editor and you see this little icon here. Can I go ahead and zoom in on my window? So see how my magnifying glass now has stars in it? that indicates that there's an AI-enabled feature there. The regular magnifier glass is just a search, but the magnifier glass with the sparkles is AI. So let's go ahead and say I want a lesson on wines of Napa Valley. I run our wine club at Canva, so this is something I might create, but for you, you might have something maybe more oriented towards your day job. So I'm going to go ahead and click enter, and that'll start the search. And what it's going to do is it's currently trying to design some presentations for me. And even beyond designing those presentations for me, you're going to see something really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. I'm going to be able to apply all 7 pages to my design. And not only did it create a skeleton design for me to be able to utilize, it actually went out and tried to fill in the information as well. So I'm not starting from blank page syndrome anymore. I actually have some ideas of some topics to cover. It's giving me some notes that I should think about, like how does a climate, terroir, and varietals affect the wine? It's even tried to do a little research for me about how to create a wine challenge for this lesson that I asked it to create. So it goes beyond just taking your prompt and saying, okay, I'll spit out maybe a basic template for you. It is actually trying to include relevant information based off the prompt you give. So that's going to be super handy for you if, again, you have a net new idea and you're not 100% sure how to get started. It can also do things like create taglines. So if I go back here, I practiced my AI skills earlier today. Oops. And, where are my there's my projects. Okay. So I was trying to create an ad for maybe an autumn sale. And not only did it come up with this whole design for me, it also came up with the taglines for me as well. So if you're struggling with creating any sort of that content, our Magic Design feature does more than just create those blank designs for you. You can also rewrite this content. So maybe this isn't the right tone for your brand, or it's not the right tone for the message that you're trying to put out. You can go ahead and use Magic Write, and we have things like make it more fun, make it more formal, sprinkle some fairy dust, change the voice. So if you have Canva brands and you have your brand voice set up within Canva, you can actually apply your own brand voice to that content as well. So you can use your own tools that you've added into Canva, like your brand templates and your brand colors and voice, to apply it to these designs. So your AI is a little bit trained on your own data. And then again, I like to use this Magic Write a lot for writing blog posts. I find it really handy to get over that blank page syndrome. Also with images, so this is currently this could be the right size for an Instagram reel, but maybe I need it to be a post. So if I go ahead and go to Magic Design and Magic Switch, I'm actually able to transform this into a new presentation type really easily, or turn it into a document as well. This one actually doesn't make sense for this one, but if I go back over here. So let's say I need to take my lesson and transform it into a doc. I can actually go ahead and transform it into a summary doc. And it'll take all of the content from my presentation and transform it into a nice, concise document that I could then share out. It's going to take a second. You can also use this to resize designs. So maybe in this, there we go. So now we have a nice, concise document with a lot of that information from that presentation, as well as some of the imagery in that presentation. Yeah. And for example, in this space, this image isn't taking up the whole page, and maybe I wanted to take up the whole page. We're able to use Magic Expand to be able to go ahead and make that a little bit larger, and it's going to automatically create a longer image for us. So we're able to also change the shape of the content that we have in case it doesn't match the space that it's in. If we need to make it smaller, do we need to make it a square because it's a Instagram post versus a reel? Is it for YouTube or is it for Facebook? You're able to easily change the content to make sure it fits a little bit better for whatever display type you're using it in. And there are tons of other Magic features as well. So, go ahead and click done. So beyond that, we also have Magic Eraser. So if there's something in the image you want to get rid of, it's easy to do. Magic Edit, you can replace key elements in the image. So instead of saying, oh, they're holding daisies, but I need them to hold roses because we're trying to push roses during Valentine's Day, you can easily swap those out. Magic Expand, and then also Background Remover is a really popular one I'm sure many of you are using. But there's tons of new AI tools in the platform as well. And we're always trying to add more and improve these as well. So I'd definitely recommend playing around with them and trying them, especially if you find yourself getting stuck at the very beginning of a project and not 100% sure how to get started. Beyond a lot of the AI tools that we've built natively, we also have a growing apps marketplace. So our apps marketplace currently has approximately 100 AI-powered apps that were all created by a very large developer community. We currently have about 3,000 developers in our community. We also have an innovation fund. So if you are a startup with an AI component to it, we do have an innovation fund to help you get onto the platform, as well as it is completely free as a developer to get started. And it has tons of really cool tools, everything from royalty-free music generation to artistic QR creation and so much more. If you want to get started, it's super easy. You can just run this in your command line. Oh, maybe we'll do that later. And I won't spend too much time on that. But if you want to check out all of those apps, I'm going to switch back. They're not currently available in docs just yet, but they are available in all other presentation types. So you can just go to this apps tab in your side panel, and there's going to be tons of AI-powered apps here. You can add virtual presenters. So I do this if I have to present something at a time zone that's not friendly for me. I upload my headshot, and then I type in a script, and it will automatically generate a talking video of my headshot that I can add to a presentation. A little creepy, but kind of cool too. And it makes it feel like I'm there. Royalty-free music, pattern generators, colorization. So if you need to change an image from black and white and add colors back into it, image upscaling. So if you have a really low res video or image, you can upscale it to make sure the quality is better, and tons more. And we're constantly adding new apps to that space as well. So if you haven't checked out that apps tab, I would highly recommend it, because if you can't find it as a Canva native feature, chances are one of our developers probably built it. And if you still can't find it, also let us know, and we can tell our developers what you guys want to see there too. Okay, I want to jump out of Canva and into our ChatGPT integration. Is anyone using ChatGPT on a pretty regular basis, or any sort of GPT? Okay, a decent number of you, maybe about 50% of the room. So we have a ChatGPT integration as well. And what's really cool about this is if you're already using it a ton, you don't have to leave the tool to be able to create some of those AI automations that I just showed you that are inside of Canva. So in order to use the Canva GPT inside ChatGPT, I'm going to jump back over here. So we're going to just go ahead and go to Explore GPTs, and you're going to be able to search for Canva inside of those GPTs. I already have it installed, but you can easily add the Canva GPT to your ChatGPT experience. And then you're able to chat with our Canva bot. And in here, you're able to access all of that magic design functionality, even outside of Canva. So now let's say I need an Instagram post, if I can spell Instagram, post for an upcoming launch of purple handbags. So it's going to help me try to bring my vision to life. Sometimes it needs a little bit more messaging. So what kind of messages do we want our design to convey? It's exciting and funky. Let's see if it can work with that. We're going to have to allow Canva to be able to communicate with ChatGPT, and it's going to talk to our plugin. And it then went ahead and tried to create 2 designs for us with taglines included. And so we can do a nice, really basic, let's get ready, or something with an unleash your inner fashionista with a stylish purple handbag. So that way you can get some ideas here, even in ChatGPT, without ever leaving it for some potential design ideas. If you like these and want to go ahead and use them, you can actually click them and it'll take you to Canva, and they're totally editable. But even if you just need some inspiration, because I use ChatGPT for a lot of inspiration for things like coming up with taglines. I'm not 100% sure what to do, or like, how can I visually represent that? This is also a great way to add that to your workflow as a tool. So again, if you're already in ChatGPT a lot, instead of having to constantly switch tabs, you can just go over to the Canva GPT and have it help you either with creating some visual assets or some taglines to add to your campaign or posts that you're creating. And this also exists in Slack, which is really exciting too. So if I switch over to Slack, so when you go to add apps, we have a Canva app here in Slack as well. So go back to the home. I can then invoke it with a /Canva command. And let's go ahead and type create design. Oh, sorry. It's magic design. And I can go ahead and kick off that same workflow here directly in Slack. So let's say you're already talking about an idea in Slack, you don't want to leave. You can actually just go ahead and create a quick design here and share it with the team and be able to iterate on it without having ever leaving, or we have to leave Slack to go iterate on the design if you want to make any changes to it. But you can create a design and share it with the entire team right there in a Slack channel without having ever leaving, having ever left Slack. So that's really handy as well. I know we're big Slack users internally at the company. So if you are also using Slack, I would highly recommend checking out the Canva app there and adding it to your workflow, because it also does things like notifications and makes it really easy to share resources. So sometimes when you share send a doc to someone, how many times have you sent it to someone and they're like, hey, I can't access that? Canva will automatically let you know, hey, it looks like this design isn't publicly shared. Do you want to share it with them? And so we can reduce those numbers of emails or Slack messages saying, can you please share the design with me? Can you please share the doc with me? Because that is half of my day sometimes. And so those are some really cool features that we have now where you can utilize AI to create designs, imagery, and ideation within or even outside of Canva, and then have fully editable Canva designs. And Slack. And then the last thing I want to touch on is how we're starting to look at also automating workflows. So as we know, a lot of the times you're just using potentially the same resources over and over again, and you just need to update the text or the photo, and you don't really want to have to do this manually every single time. And so with that, we're creating, we have our Connect APIs that help us support that. So this is a set of REST APIs that allow your third party, whether it's your CRM system, your task management system, or anything else, to be able to communicate with Canva and automatically spin up designs. So if I go ahead and jump back over here, when I go to Canva and I go to my brand, any brand templates you have, you can tag data inside of those brand templates. And once that data is tagged, we can then use the Canva Connect autofill APIs to automatically populate that from outside of Canva, from any third-party service. So I created a super basic React app to be able to do that. And so what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to load all of my brand templates from Canva. So let's go ahead and load it. So there's our pitch deck that we have in our brand templates. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And what I'm doing is I'm telling it I automatically want you to fill in the information. We're then going to go check if it's ready. The design is ready. So it auto-filled my deck for me. I can then go into Canva and make any edits I need to that. So I preloaded some text in the background that I wanted it to add in. So it auto-filled my deck for me with some text about how AI helps marketers. And if we look at the brand template, what we have is we have a title and a presentation name. And then on the second page, we have a topic and a description. And so it was automatically to take my data and push it over to Canva into a design And now I'm able to make any final tweaks I need instead of having to go manually copy paste that over or manually retyping everything as well. This is going to simplify workflows and make them so much faster when you're able to tag that data and auto-populate it. Because also maybe you're sending emails or assets out where you need to send it to 100 people and you want it to be customized with their name and their title or something. This way, instead of having to do that manually yourself, you would be able to push that data directly from your CRM into Canva, and it would automatically create all of those assets for you with that data. So if you're interested in giving this a try, we have our REST APIs called Canva Connect APIs. So if you're working with data and you want to automate your marketing workflow, definitely recommend giving it a look as well. And with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up to try to keep us on time here. So just again, we have Docs, API reference, and a starter kit. And if you are technically minded, I will also invite you to join our hackathon. We're giving away over $50K in prizes for anyone who builds with our apps SDK or Connect APIs. So even if it's not you have a developer on your team that you're like, hey, actually, this might make sense for us, definitely give it a try. You have until August 12th to submit. And that QR code was generated with one of our AI QR apps. So that's the fun little plug there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully you learned something about what you can do with Canva, and I will take a few questions. It's currently free. However, public integrations will continue to be free to create. If you want to create a private custom integration that's just for you and your organization, you will need to be a Canva enterprise user. It depends on what the sharing level. Like if you wanted to only be available for your users, then yes, that would be Canva Enterprise. If you're okay opening it up for others to be able to use it, that would be a public, and that one would be for free to create and develop.
Okay.
No, not currently, no. But it can send you an export back from Canva where you get the file as like a JPEG, PNG, or video, and then you could then use the social media's third-party APIs or a disbursement tool to do that. But we can't currently push directly to social medias on your behalf.